Welcome to today's Explainer. I am absolutely thrilled to have you here because today we're looking at something incredibly relatable yet endlessly fascinating. Okay, let's dive into this. We are going to break down the borrowed jacket conflict. Now, you might be thinking this sounds like a pretty simple everyday occurrence. And, well, it is, but that's exactly why it's so important. We're treating this brief interaction between two people as a micro case study in interpersonal conflict, boundary setting, and ultimately masterful de-escalation. Honestly, you'd be amazed at how much human psychology is packed into just a few lines of dialogue.
Let's start with a scenario we have literally all lived through at some point. Have you ever spent an entire morning frantically tearing your room apart, looking for your favorite jacket, your keys, or maybe your charger, only to walk into the kitchen and find your roommate or partner casually using it? Your heart drops, your blood pressure spikes, and you instantly feel that weird mix of profound relief that the item isn't lost forever, instantly followed by a sudden, sharp wave of irritation. That visceral, gut feeling is exactly where our story begins today, perfectly testing the boundaries of shared spaces and personal property.
Section 1. The Missing Jacket Incident.
So the scene is tense, the frantic search is finally over, and the interaction kicks off with a direct hit. Lily says, "Emma, is that my jacket?" Notice the complete lack of passive aggressiveness here. She doesn't sigh heavily, she doesn't make a sarcastic comment about the weather, she just asks a direct, undeniable question that immediately forces accountability. It puts the ball squarely in Emma's court and establishes that Lily is fully aware of what's going on. It's really a textbook opening for a confrontation because it sticks purely to the undeniable facts.
Oh yes, I borrowed it because it was cold. Now, Emma immediately admits to it, which, is a good start. But look at what she does right after. She instantly attaches a physical justification to her action. She was cold. In her mind, she wasn't plotting some grand theft. She was just trying to solve her own immediate, uncomfortable problem. This is such a classic human behavior in minor conflicts. We almost always prioritize our own immediate physical or emotional needs and kind of blindly assume that our mild inconvenience justifies bypassing normal social rules. And this brilliantly illustrates the unseen, parallel experiences that happen right before a conflict actually kicks off. On one side, you have Emma. She's called, she's rushing, she sees a jacket, grabs it, boom, problem solved. It's a purely victimless crime in her head. But on the completely parallel track, you have Lily. Her morning is totally derailed. She's anxious, she's searching, she's losing precious time. Emma's 3-second decision basically created an hour of stress for Lily. The conflict we're analyzing here isn't just about a piece of clothing, it's about the sudden, jarring collision of these two completely different morning experiences.
Lily then pivots the conversation with a truly crucial question. Why didn't you ask me first? This is brilliant. Lily doesn't get bogged down in Emma's excuse about being cold. She ignores the temperature entirely and zeroes in on the exact mechanism of the transgression, the complete bypass of permission. For Lily, the issue isn't really that Emma is wearing the jacket. It's the lack of respect for Lily's agency over her own belongings. She keeps the argument laser-focused on the actual behavioral misstep.
Emma replies, "I'm really sorry. I was in a hurry." Now, we see the classic yes but apology. Emma offers an immediate apology. "I'm really sorry," showing she knows she crossed a line, but then she immediately cushions it with an excuse of haste. First it was "I was cold," now it's "I was in a hurry." She's trying to mitigate her guilt by blaming her environment. It's a total defensive reflex, right? She wants Lily to know, hey, I'm not a bad person, I was just caught in a stressful moment. But Lily isn't going to let that excuse just float there unchallenged. She counters with, "I was looking for it all morning." This is a powerful move. Lily is revealing the highly frustrating, time-consuming reality of her own morning. She's holding up a mirror to Emma and essentially saying, "Your 5 seconds of being in a hurry literally cost me my entire morning." She firmly attaches real-world consequences to Emma's supposedly harmless rush decision. Section 2. Perspectives on the theft.
At this point, we've got two radically different experiences crashing into one another. If we really want to understand conflict resolution, we have to objectively analyze this clash without instantly taking a side. On one side, we have Emma's reality. She was cold, in a hurry, and genuinely didn't know Lily needed the jacket today. Her intent was entirely non-malicious. But on the other side, we have Lily's reality. She was stressed out, looking for her jacket all morning because she explicitly needed it today. The impact on her was highly frustrating. The vital lesson here is that both of these realities can be, and absolutely are, true at the exact same time. Non-malicious intent does not magically erase frustrating impact.
Section 3. Setting clear boundaries.
Now, this is the exact moment where so many daily arguments spiral entirely out of control. But instead of yelling, Lily establishes a ground rule to protect her peace in the future. She states, clearly and calmly, "Please ask before using my things." Notice the profound clarity and simplicity of this actionable demand. There's no name-calling. She doesn't say, "You're so inconsiderate." She doesn't bring up, that time Emma borrowed a sweater 3 months ago. She simply provides a crystal-clear behavioral rule for the future. It is literally impossible for Emma to misunderstand this boundary.
So, the crucial point is how Lily follows up that rule. She says, "I don't like it when people take my things without permission." She reinforces her boundary by firmly stating her personal feelings. She grounds the rule in her own emotional landscape. By framing it as, "I don't like it," she makes it a matter of personal respect rather than just some arbitrary house rule. She's advocating for her own comfort and making the abstract concept of permission highly personal.
Section 4. Anatomy of a resolution. That brilliant boundary setting leads us to the final act of this interaction. What follows is an absolute masterclass in swift, effective conflict de-escalation. If you ever need a blueprint for how to apologize and repair a relationship in under 30 seconds, well, this is it. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is Emma executes an absolutely flawless apology here. Step 1, she admits fault completely. "You're right, I should have asked." She drops the excuses about being cold or in a hurry. Step 2, she validates Lily's rule. "I understand." She acknowledges Lily's feelings without a hint of defensiveness. Step 3, she promises a change in future behavior. It won't happen again. This is the holy trinity of conflict resolution, folks. Accountability, validation, and a commitment to change.
And look at the immediate result. Lily responds with, "Thank you, I appreciate that." Emma's structural, excuse-free accountability instantly evaporates Lily's frustration. When someone truly hears you and takes responsibility without fighting back, the anger simply has nowhere left to go. It completely deflates the tension in the room, allowing for immediate relationship repair.
Lily then officially closes the conflict by saying, "No problem. Just remember next time." This is such a beautiful example of grace. Lily doesn't hold a grudge. She doesn't demand a blood sacrifice or drag it out. She accepts the apology and offers a gentle, forward-looking reminder. She shifts the energy from the stressful morning they just had right toward a much more respectful future. Finally, Emma ends the exchange with, "I will, and thanks for letting me." She ends on a note of genuine gratitude, acknowledging that despite the friction, Lily is actually still allowing her to benefit from the jacket in that moment. This simple thank you completely neutralizes what could have been an incredibly explosive morning. They both walk away feeling heard, respected, and totally clear on the rules of engagement moving forward.
So as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a direct challenge. Look, we all have moments where we prioritize our own convenience over someone else's boundaries, usually without even meaning to. But the next time you're rushing around, the next time you're tempted to just grab something without asking, will you remember the borrowed jacket? Will you remember the unseen stress you might be causing? And more importantly, if you do get caught, will you remember Emma's 3-step blueprint for a perfect, excuse-free apology? Keep these tools right in your back pocket. Trust me, they'll save you a lot of tense mornings. Thanks for joining me on this deep dive, and keep learning.